How's it going, guys? It's Burgers here and welcome to another Age of Empire mobile video. Today I'm going to talk about the rings because we're not talking that much about the rings. The majority of the time the focus is over the new heroes or some heroes, and people forgot that there is a context that is building the Legion. It's not only heroes, you also have a ring system, you also have horse system, adornment system, also you have gear system, all these things. You have gem system, and I can continue, but all these things is what is building one Legion. This is what I call as a context of one Legion. It's not only your heroes. So in this video I'm going to talk about how the bad rings are killing your lineup more even than a bad heroes. And one of the things I want to point out is the majority of the cases when some people call me or they write me in the Discord. You can find a link in the description below, or they write me in the Discord, or they just PM me in the game from any channel, communicational channel. Something that I noticed, the people are not having problem with the heroes. It's not like the people are not knowing which hero to build with which hero. The people are asking me, hey Burgers, why my Legion is not performing that good? And they share with me some reports, and I always ask them, okay, show me your horse, show me your ring. Because to be fair, with the gear there is not much you can actually change in this direction. You have like 3 gems, you know, you can actually use different gems, but at the end of the day what is giving one gear is pretty much fixed. Here is like cavalry defense bonus, and if I actually open some of the gear that I currently have, you're going to see that it's basically the same. It's swordsman defense bonus. All of the helms are basically absolutely the same. That's why I decide to actually talk more about the rings. But let me know in the comments if you want me to create also a gear guide for you to know more, or to just level up in the gear at the end of the day. So yeah, the video today is going to be how the bad rings is actually making a good Legion look weak at the end of the day, because wrong ring can actually you know, decrease or make your Legion weak and never make it unbalanced. If the ring make your Legion unbalanced, is going to be the best in SWAT ring for these heroes, but normally the wrong rings is what make your Legion strong. And I want to point out that the majority of the cases people are not having hero problems, they're having ring problems. And I want to point out the next point I want to talk about, and this is stop chasing new heroes first. Why I'm saying that? Because you have to keep all of the systems on the same level. Now, what Burgers mean by systems? I mean, you have hero system, you have ring system, you have gear system, and etc. The systems that you can actually go and spend, this is, for example, the hero system, where you can go and buy some medals. The other is, for example, the horse system, when you can go and actually buy mount whistles with imperial coins. And obviously, right now it's sold out, but the hammers, which is for the rings. For the heroes is actually legendary advent. This is the place where the people are spending for the heroes. So you're having different events for different type of system, and the majority of the people are focusing over the heroes. And I make a mistake back in the days when I started playing Age of Empire Mobile. I was thinking, since I have opportunity to place 5 legions on the battlefield, I should actually build 5 legions. But with the time, I understand I'm completely wrong. And since we're at the legendary event, I'm going to share with you one strategy I'm using. This is something like a little tips and tricks, so don't forget to tip me with one like. Always go to 200. Till you go to 200, you're going to get 4 chests at the cost of 200 pools. If you go from 200 to 400, it's actually only 2 chests. If you go from 400 to 600, it's again 2 chests. So the best value you're going to receive from one legendary event is going to be 200. But anyway, that is something that I put aside. For more tips and tricks, you can go on my YouTube channel and go check out some videos where you can get some extremely valuable information about the Age of Empire Mobile. This channel is providing you only with Age of Empire Mobile content. There is no other games here. So yeah, you're having different systems, and the majority of the cases from these different systems in this game, people are just chasing the new heroes. And they're actually upgrade those heroes, but since the context is broken, they're not having rings for these heroes, they're not having horses for these heroes. Those heroes are sitting extremely weak. And the other thing I want to talk about is wrong rings create fake weak heroes. Now what I mean by that is all about the synergy between the heroes, and I'm going to share with you one of my 2 legions that I'm building, and this is, for example, Lubu. I'm having this ring of Dicey on Lubu. It's my main hero, is the hero that is going to do the massive damage. It's long value hero, Wubu. I want to point out this thing, but I have a ring of Dicey on him. Why is I want to put this hero as much times as I can in the double attack state, and from there I can actually get one more attack. And as you can see here, I even have a double strike. Now what the double strike is doing, after launching a normal attack, deals my damage. You can, with Lubu and this setup, we're looking to get as many normal attacks as we can. On top of that, those attacks can be a critical strike. So yeah, with this ring, Wubu become very solid. The other ring I'm using is Ring of Bear on the Zhao Yun. The reason behind is this ring is actually boosting my Lubu output. You're going to see that sometimes you want to focus all the power in one hero. It's dangerous because if this hero become weaker or less effective in the future, this is going to be an issue. But to become ineffective and not that good, he most likely going to be presented with other hero that just is doing more damage from this hero. So the same rings most likely is going to work for this new hero. But here we have Commander Might damage can go up to 4.8%, reduce all of your hero armor by 20 and increase the commander might by 51. This is a static. So you start seeing that this legion is looking more and more like glass cannon. For the people who don't know, glass cannon is more like hitting extremely hard but very squishy, can be actually killed very hard, very fast. And here comes the final ring. This is Tranquil Water. This ring is actually giving pretty nice sustaining survivability for your legion. Troop skill damage reduction, troop defense, troop health. When the combat starts, for the first 18 seconds, reduce the troop damage taken by like 10%, for example. For now it's 7.6, but still is reduction. And also troop skill damage reduction. All these things actually matter at the end of the day for on the battlefield. And I'm actually going to share with you share with you something that is preventing for something that I do with the rings. I think some people may actually know, but for my rings, I'm actually leveling up one rare ring, one epic ring, and one legendary ring. The reason behind is those rings are sharing different resources. For example, here I'm actually needing these crystals. I have like 9 from 20. For the epic one, I need this silver sand, I think was this thing. And here I need like copper sand. So having different materials for the leveling up is actually I can make 3 rings from different rarity, very solid one. And that's why I'm using 3 rings. Back in the days when I started playing this game, I was thinking, okay, Burgers, hear me out. You have to go with 3 legendary rings, because legendary is legendary. Everybody know that. But at the end of the day, if I was going with 3 of these rings, most likely they're going to sit on level 1 because I'm not going to have enough resources to make them level 5, for example. And this can be actually an issue because right now this ring of Dicey is very close to be fully leveled up. It's very close. Okay, here it's not that close, but it's having a decent spell, which you cannot achieve if you have like 3 rare rings. So this is something like, again, tip and trick I'm giving you in this video. Is better focus over 3 different rarity rings, make them solid, from this to go with 3 legendary rings. Now if you're whale or kraken, you can afford that, but if you're a normal player like me, or free-to-play player, I think this approach is going to work you. It's going to give you better results. And if you're interested in this type of things, don't forget you can go on my channel and you can check out more videos just to level up this legion that you're having. Now, the other issue with the rings is people are going way too aggressive. And one of the things is your lineup dies before it actually do damage. Now, why this is actually an issue? Why I'm not huge fan of this, how to say it, glass cannon approaches is just you need something to give you some survivability. That's why I decide for Tranquil Water to be my legendary ring. And to be with defense, because there is a lot of other rings. If I go maybe to the forge, if I find where is this forge, I'm going to withdraws from here. I can go in general correction. I have like 23 of these hammers, so I'm going to just do like 10. Maybe I'm going to get lucky. Or maybe not, but yeah, this is silver sand, this is copper sand, and this is the fine gold. So I get 3 different materials for 3 different rarity rings. So what I was trying to say is I have like 6.84k of these coins. For me, it's going to be very easy to get like 1 more of these rings. And if I decide and spend a little more in this direction, I can get 2 legendary rings. Now, why I don't want to do this approach and not even going with 2 legendary rings is just because of the resources. Not quite sure. As you can see, I have like 14, let's say 15% chance to get the fine gold. And actually I have close to the same chance to get this one, but if I get like 1 fine gold, 1 silver sand, and 1 copper sand, I'm going to invest them anyway. They're looking the same chance to be get it, but at the end of the day, you're going to see right now, You're going to get sometimes 3 gold and like 20 of this copper sand, and not a single silver sand for your epic ring. So yeah, this is one of the things I'm doing, and that's why I decide the legendary ring I'm using to be the one for the defense and to increase the survivability of my legion, Tranquil water at the end of the day. Now, the other things that can affect your ring, can actually affect output, is going to be your reports. You're going to look, the reports, you're going to make some tests. I'm content creator, so I have access to the Pioneer server, and I can test different setups, but some people who is chasing the new heroes or trying to build some new lineups, sometimes actually putting the wrong rings when they make their tests, just because they're having only this ring. And this is very, very common, especially for the people who is not having access, for example, to the Pioneer server. They're having, in my case, let's say Tranquil water, and they pair this and they put this ring with different heroes. Now, Tranquil water is more like universal one, but for example, Ring of Bear is actually boosting your commander. So if your commander is not some crazy killer, this is not going to be something that is going to boost by a lot his output. And here we even talk about the might, and some commanders are doing strategy damage. This is just an example, so you can see how wrong the report can be at the end of the day if you're not careful. This is, yeah, it can completely broke or ruin your test reports. Now, the other thing I want to speak about this is ring level matters more than you think. Now, I have Ring of Dicey, Ring of Bear, and Tranquil water. Now, why it's important level for me is just because it's giving some extra stats. Troops attack, troops defense. Commander might damage can go up to 5%, troop attack. Troop skill damage reduction, troop defense, troop health. All these things is something like a boosters, but the mainly is the skill. The mainly is actually the skill at the end of the day, and this skill can go absolutely wild. Absolutely wild is something like an extra skill for your hero. And if your hero is a deputy, I mean, it's not a commander, you're going to have just like 4 skills here, 3 skills. With the ring, you can actually have 4 skills, and it can be completely different from the skills you're having here. Because here you have double attack, like 30% chance of your heroes to enter in the double attack. This one is increase next hero might, increase the next hero might by some percentage, and critical rate, blah blah blah. Increase your hero's critical strike. Yeah, here I'm having something like a critical strike build. It's mostly, this is what happened with Wubu Legion. After all, if you see Wubu Legion, he's hitting, bam, out. He's destroying the enemy Legion. That's why a lot of people don't do test against Lubu, because it's a wild card. You don't know from where you're going to enter in the double state and start getting some wild criticals. So yeah, but the ring is one extra spell. It's like for the deputy is 33% increasing the power. It's actually with 25%, because if it's like 4 skills, each skill is 25% from the whole might of the hero. And obviously the ring level matter. Now, why whales looking broken? This is also have something to do with the rings and with the copy of what the whales are doing. I have many friends that are actually whales. Some people are not going to like the whales, but one thing I can say, or at least the people I'm playing and I'm speaking over on this game, is the people that are putting a lot of time in this game and also money. So they can be whales, they have to put some money, and they're coming with some crazy builds. And one of the things that I always ask and I check when they send me some report that I can make video about it is I'm checking their rings and their horses at the end of the day. So yeah guys, this will be for this video. Here I'm going to put other video that you can go and check it out, or go check it out my channel and pick some video that is going to be interesting for you just to level up your skills. This is the topic I was looking to talk about because I think people actually forgot the main context of one legion and they think it's only heroes. Because yeah, when the new hero come and I make a video, I see how the video are exploding, and when I talk about some rings and etc, and not many people are interested, but I think this is very important in Age of Empire Mobile. So yeah, go check it out this video. I wish you a great day and see you in the next video.